Botswana's Environment and Tourism Minister says countries in southern Africa are sharply opposed to a proposed United Kingdom measure that will ban the hunting of imported trophies. Dumezdweni Mthimkhulu this week addressed the British Parliament over Botswana concerns about the legislation. He tells VOA in an exclusive interview that the proposed legislation will backfire, harm local communities, set back conservation efforts, increase poaching, and lead to the loss of wildlife habitats. Mthimkhulu led a Botswana delegation involving technocrats, traditional leaders, and victims of wildlife to the UK Parliament. They were also joined by top envoys and high government officials from Zambia, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Tanzania, Namibia, and South Africa to oppose the bill. Dumezdweni Mthimkhulu tells me that if passed, the legislation will undermine conservation efforts and reduce revenue that helps rural communities in Botswana and sister countries in the region. Here's part one of the conversation.
It was very simple. We don't need the trophy hunting bill. We don't need it. Botswana does not need it. Countries in the SADC region that border Botswana, that is Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, Namibia, and South Africa, we don't need it. When you talk of conservation of wildlife, we are a success story for the whole world to see. So Botswana has the largest number of wild elephants in the world. We also have, I think, the third largest number of lions in the world. So if you look across all species that the bill want to make a subject of the ban, we have done very well in respect to all of them.
Minister Mthimkhulu, I understand that Botswana depends, one of its major GDP contributors is tourism. Will this anti-trophy bill at the British Parliament undercut such source of income or revenue for your government? Is that the reason why your government is against it?
No, not necessarily. What we are concerned about is our communities living in those areas. Every year, the government issues a quota of 400 elephants. And these elephants are given to community trust. It is them who derive income from this hunting ban because they live amongst these animals. And not necessarily the government. The government does not. Of course, when somebody comes into Botswana, he will buy from a shop, he will rent, he will book an hotel, he will use local transport, at the end of the day, he pays taxes and stuff. But our main concern, it is the communities that live with these animals. And we are saying, see, our numbers of elephants are going up every year. I was telling one of the British journalists here that, you know what, sometimes maybe you should come to Botswana and take some of these animals to Britain so that you can understand the menace we're talking about, the problems we are facing when we have to look after these things. So that you...
What do you say to experts who say that culling leads to extinction?
Culling leads to extinction. In Botswana, the story on the ground is different. They need to confront the facts. We'll give them facts, hard facts. You cannot come to Botswana and say that culling has led to extinction when our numbers have increased from 50,000 to 130,000. They cannot dispute those numbers. They can't. They cannot just dispute the population of buffaloes that we have that have risen by over 10,000 in the world. They cannot dispute the number of lions that we have. They cannot dispute the number of wild dogs. They cannot dispute those. Because they are increasing, they are exponential. They're just a huge increase of these animals up there in the forest. And they cannot dispute those. So we don't know what they are looking for if they cannot dispute those numbers.
So why do you think the bill is hypocritical? Because that's the stance of your government. Why do you think it is?
Yeah, it is. It is. We also heard when I arrived here from the British members of Parliament that they also kill the deer for their antlers and they export them. And yesterday we had a group of scientists, about 4 of them, who were explaining that the export of this trophy trophies from Britain. They were given figures. So they allow it, they want to ban it from our own country. So I'm not the Minister of Foreign Affairs. I'll put myself in trouble. But you see, they still, I think, they're still stuck in the old mentality where they believe that they were under their control. We're not a sovereign nation. But what if because the economic power and political power, they have it, and military power, they have it. So they want to now dictate terms of how we deal with our situations in our own countries. And that is very sad. It's very sad.
Dumezdweni Mthimkhulu is Botswana's Environment and Tourism Minister. He spoke with me from London. Join us on Sunday for the conclusion of the conversation.